On a multicolored background, an image comes into view. The image contains two selfies and text in a white text box that reads the Moonrade system. Below the image, a red text box with multicolored words appears. The words read the Moonrade system. The image and text disappear from view.
Hey there everybody, this is Demetria, aka Demi. We are doing safety tips for on the go. So basically, tips for when you're away from home. These are some safety tips that we thought of. Some may sound basic and general, like, oh yeah, I know to do that. And some are like, good to know. Okay, so this is in no particular order, so hopefully I can get this done here. Alrighty, so first one we're gonna go over is, these are gonna be the physical safety tips first, and then we have a few mental health tips here for you too. So since the physical part is more of my forte, I'm gonna start with that first, and then we'll go over the mental health stuff. So yeah. Alright, so first one we're gonna talk about on the physical side is make sure you dress according to the weather. Like, if you're just staying in the community, make sure you look up your community's weather, what it's gonna be like, and if you're going on like a nice vacation, also do research on the weather there. That way you know what to, like, for like if you're going on vacation, at least you'll know what to pack. And if you're staying in the community but have to go out for like errands and stuff, you'll know what to wear for that too. Or if you're having like a sleepover with someone, at least you'll know like what to wear too. For instance, at the moment of filming this, it is winter time, so make sure you pack if you're going somewhere cold, make sure you pack your cold essentials. Excuse me. If you're staying in the community and it's winter time, make sure you wear your hat, gloves, jacket, a scarf, and make sure you wear your boots too if you need boots, because it can get really slippery in wintertime, and that can be the cause of accidents and stuff. So all in all, just dress for the weather, and if it's really, really hot out, make sure you wear what you need to wear for that. Yeah. And another thing that I'm gonna pair into this dress according to weather tip is make sure you, if you're going out and it's really hot out, make sure you pack yourself some water too. Like, even if you're just in the community, make sure you have a bottle of water with you so that when you're out, you can keep yourself hydrated and all that. Based on our previous experiences, we're not going to get into detail about them, but yeah, based on some of our experiences, is that there are times when we forgot to take a bottle of water with us, or we didn't have a bottle of water, and so yeah, if you can't have a bottle of water with you when you leave your place, find a store or something if you can afford it, and get yourself a bottle of water. It does not have to be a giant bottle of water. It can be just standard size, but please make sure you have something to keep yourself hydrated when it's really hot out, because based on our experience, it's just, when it's really hot, it's just like low energy and out of breath so easy, like, whoa, it's so hot. And on the flip side, with the winter time, just be careful, and also maybe carry some chapstick too if you need chapstick to help your lips too. So all in all, for this first one is dress according to the weather, and if you need to carry something around for a certain type of weather, make sure you do that too. So like winter, chapstick, like summertime or really hot climate, bottle of water to stay hydrated. This next one here is make sure you be really careful where you're walking, or make sure you be really careful where you're going. This is mostly for physical safety. Make sure you check for curbs where you're going, and if there's no curb, make sure you know where you're stepping to. And if you hear that in the background, if you hear like a weird sound in the background, that's our DVD player. But but yeah, be careful where you're heading. Usually what we do when we're trying to be careful is, like, when we're going to a certain place, we see if there's either a curb or stairs. Sometimes what we'll do, like, if there's not a curb, we'll still like walk forward, and like we walk as if we're getting up on a curb, and if we know there's not a curb there, then we just walk forward. But we usually like to check, and just be really careful, especially like some places have stairs without rails. If you ask us, we say that all places should have rails, but there are some places that don't. And some of those stairs can be really dangerous, and yeah. For example, there's a local restaurant in our area that has, well, they kind of look like stairs, but yet they look like curbs at the same time. So we just call them stairs, but at a local restaurant, they have like curb-like stairs, and there's nothing really to hang on to or anything like that. So basically what we do if we're visiting that restaurant is we just we find another way if we can. Otherwise, if we have to take that way, the way that we feel is unsafe, we do it with lots of caution. Another thing is, if it's winter time, you have to be extra careful, because it could be really, really icy, and especially with curbs and stairs, it can get really, really slippery. So just be careful in general. And another part of this be careful thing is when you're away from home, just be careful where you're, like, be careful with your destination too. Like, if you know there's a certain place that's dangerous, but you have to go there for some reason, be really careful when you're there. Like, be on high alert to make sure nothing bad is gonna happen and stuff like that. At least that's what we recommend. And then if you're going somewhere and it's past dark and if it's nighttime and you're going somewhere, just be really careful. And yeah, I know that phones have flashlights, so if you need, whoa, whoops. As soon as I said flashlights, I shook our phone, and it was like, ooh, you need the flashlight? Here you go. But I'm not really the playful type, but that really caught me there. But anyways, like I was saying, was just be aware of your surroundings. Be careful where you go, and if there's a certain place that's dangerous but you do not need to go there, do not go there. I mean, there are some places that they're dangerous, and if you don't need to go there, it's probably not a good idea to go there. And then back to, like, where you're walking rather than the surroundings, is that, especially with the curbs and stuff, the curbs and stairs and everything like that, just be really careful with that. And then also is we're supposed to use a cane due to our visual impairment, but we don't like using it. But it's a good idea to, like, if you need to use it, and it'll help you find, like, where you need to go, like, safely. Wow, I can't believe we're saying that, even though it's recommended, but we don't use ours just because we don't use ours much. But if you have something that helps you with mobility, that will help you get from point A to point B safely, definitely make use of that. And this also segues into an inside point too. Yeah, I guess you can call it an inside point. If you are inside and there's different options of how to get, like, if you're in a building that has more than one floor and you're faced with different options to get up to a certain floor, take the one that you feel is the most safe for you. Like, if there's an escalator and an elevator in a facility and you need to get to the second floor, if you don't feel comfortable taking the escalator, find the elevator and take that. And escalators are really dangerous, so if you have to use an escalator, please be really, really careful. And then if there's a facility with an elevator and stairs, and there's a lot of stairs, and they're kind of hard to see. Well, at least for us, we usually take the elevator when it comes to that situation. Just in general, find the path that takes you to where you need to go safely. And again, if you have to use an escalator, just be really, really careful. Not going into our experience with that, but yeah, that's all we're gonna say, is just be cautious of where you're going and stuff like that. Okay, next we'd have to say is plan ahead. We were debating on whether to include this in the mental health section or in the physical section, but we'd say that it kind of like goes in the middle, really, because it may help you a lot, like where you're gonna go and stuff like that, and then mentally it helps. That way you know, oh, I need to do this and I need to do that. Like if you make a list and just go through it carefully, it'll help. If you plan ahead, you can oh, I'm sorry, this is unscripted, but if you think you're gonna be away from home for not very long, just to plan ahead anyway, to make sure you have make sure you pack what you need, like phone charger, phone, headphones, all that stuff, just in case you end up being away from home more than you needed to be. Especially if you're only going out for a few hours, like say for instance if you have like a meeting or something like that. You should probably pack a phone charger and stuff anyway, just in case, because you never know if your public transportation may end early and you can't use the public transportation to get home, or if you need to call an Uber or something like that, make sure you have your phone and phone charger for that, so that you're not stranded out in the dark and away from home. And I might as well bring this tip up too, is do not accept rides from people you don't know. Do not accept a ride home from a stranger, because they may have good intent on helping you get home, and they may seem okay on the outside and stuff, but sometimes from different stories we've heard, it's not a good idea to go with that unless you really need to. You don't know what people may do, you don't know what they're capable of, when you give them your address, they may not take you home, and they may have even though some may have good intentions, some may not have good intentions. So just be safe, and if you need to call an Uber, even if you don't feel comfortable with that, because that's safer than getting a ride home from a complete stranger that you don't know and that they're not part of Uber or whatever that may be better. If you know someone in the area who you can call that may be able to help you, that may be okay with helping you, you can you can ask them if they can give you a ride home. But in those situations where they're like, no, I'm sorry, but I can't come out and help you, then make sure you have your phone charger so that you can at least get yourself a safe way home. Yeah. So, yeah, I think those are most of what we got for the physical section. Yeah. Another thing is just, okay, Demi, what were you gonna say now? Sometimes we have those moments where like, okay, I know what I'm gonna say, and then we go and say it, and we're like, what do we say? It happens way too often. But yeah, I think those are mostly what we can come up with for the physical safety tips for now. Here's one that I just thought of that most definitely should be mentioned is when you're going out and you're like sharing your adventures on social media like we do sometimes, be careful because that can be dangerous. Like be careful that way. Like be careful not to share your exact location unless you really know someone, like, you know, like if a relative is coming to pick you up, you can like call that, like if they have your number, they can call you and say, hey, I'm coming to pick you up, where are you at? But when you're sharing online, be really careful with that because there's a lot of dangerous people out there and you don't know what their intent is, so be careful with that. Alright. I believe that's... okay. Now, that's all we can think of for the physical part. If you have any tips that we haven't mentioned here, leave them in the comments below and we'll read them. Maybe we'll make a part 2, we don't know. So, alright, now on to the mental health stuff. This is mostly for like to help you out mentally when you're away from home. And again, this is in no particular order, so let's just fly through them. The first tip we're gonna say is be aware of your triggers, and if you need to set boundaries with people, do that. If certain places are negative triggers for you, make that clear with the person that you're going with. Well, the person that invites you, really. Or else if you're going somewhere on your own, just be aware of the places that are your triggers, whether if they're negative or not. be aware of that. Also, if certain things are a trigger, like crowds or really loud environments, just keep those things in mind. And then if someone invites you to go to a certain place, or if that place is a negative trigger for you, like if you get invited in advance and this person wants to go, you can let that person know, like, hey, I'm sorry, but I can't go with you, but thank you for the invite. You can politely decline and let them know. Like, you don't have to go into detail about the triggers, but you can just say, I'm sorry, but I can't go with you, or I'm sorry, but no. Okay, here's one related to our situation here is, I'll use a little bit of our situation here as an example. Well, at the time of recording this, it's still winter time and stuff, but back in December, there was this new movie, the Sonic the Hedgehog 3. The Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was coming out, and we wanted to go see it in theaters. But unfortunately, at the moment of recording this, going to a movie theater right now is still a trigger for us, because back in November we had well, we're not going to go into detail of what happened, but we had a really horrifying experience, and we're still recovering from that. But yeah, we really want to see this new Sonic movie they've been really hyping us up about, but like, we just gotta be aware of our triggers and be aware of, like, if something's gonna cause us distress and all that stuff. We just need to keep in mind, like, is it safe for us to go? Like, is it mentally safe for us to go, or is it still, or is it still a trigger? So yeah, and if, like, say for instance, if you do want to go to a certain movie and it's like sometime in the future, like, what you could do is, as the movie gets closer, like as the theater release gets closer, what you can do is look at the show times of that movie. Like, well, if the movie is in, like, if it's near the week that you're on right now, like, like, if it's within the month that you're in, you can take a look and see the show times and stuff, and you can assess if it's safe for you to go to the show or not. And if you feel that it's still a trigger to go to a movie theater, you can always say, this is still a trigger for me, but I can look out for maybe the streaming release or the DVD release. That's why we have a lot of DVDs too. Like, sometimes, well, not because it's a trigger to go see them, but, well, most of these movies we haven't even seen in theaters, but I mean, you can always see what what way you can see the movie is best for you. Just yeah. That's all I'm really gonna say on that. Just be aware of your triggers, set boundaries if you need to. Now, if someone takes you somewhere without you knowing, like involuntarily, and it's a trigger for you, if you can't get out of the situation, there's always ways that can help you cope until you're able to get out of the situation. Like, you can listen to music on your phone if you can. You can also use grounding techniques and breathing techniques to help you with the triggers. But it also depends on the situation that you're in as well too. So yeah, we know that sometimes music will not work in certain situations, but basically what we're saying is, if you're involuntarily put into a triggering situation, try to find ways to help yourself get through it, because sometimes leaving the situation may not be an option. Not going into detail, but based on some of our experiences, leaving was not an option, so we used what we had to get through them. So, alright, so with that out of the way, next thing is, if you need fidgets if you need to fidget with something while you're away from home, like if you're on the bus or waiting for a bus or something like that, maybe pack yourself some fidget toys and stuff that can help you with that. Not really sure exactly the right terms for this, so I apologize. But you can find different things to help you keep your hands busy, as we say. Like, usually when we go out, we have like a small handbag that we carry with some fidgets and stuff. It has like some Play-Doh and some of those stress balls, and some of us really like those pop-it things where you can pop the bubbles, which is really cool too. Yeah, you can find different like fidget stuff to help you when you need to keep your hands busy or your mind busy too. Sometimes we don't have that kit with us, so when we don't have the kit with us but we have headphones, we like to use Spotify, and most of our songs are combined in our Like Songs playlist on Spotify. But if we have, it also depends on like who's fronting as well, fronting our co-con. Like if we're away from home and we know that one of our littles is present, we have a playlist specifically for our littles, so that they can listen to music too. Because, well, personally, some of the music that I listen to, I'm more into like the grown-up explicit stuff, and our littles are not supposed to listen to that at all. Like, we don't let them listen to my type of music. So we have a playlist for them where all the music is family friendly. And another thing is that we also have Tubi on our phone here too. So if we're away from home and we want to watch a show or part of a movie when we're away from home, that's where Tubi comes in. Sometimes we don't really watch full-length films when we're away from home unless we know we can watch some of it. Like sometimes our bus rides take a while. To get from point A to point B. So sometimes we either watch part of a movie or a show, and then they also have like family friendly shows and films as well. Like sometimes our littles love watching Clifford the Big Red Dog, or else sometimes they like watching like Tom and Jerry. Yes, those are good for when we're away from home and need a distraction until we get to, well, close to where we need to be. We always have one headphone off, that way we can hear for our stop. Because otherwise, if we have our headphones on and we can't hear with the stops, then it's like, oh no, I missed my stop. And that happens to us sometimes. But it's definitely a good idea to have maybe something you can watch if you need to watch something. You can also just go on to YouTube as well. You don't just have to go on to Tubi or any of the streaming sites, but yeah, you can just pull up YouTube and watch whatever videos you're interested in. Another thing is, okay, I promise, one more thing here is, if you like to play a certain game when you're away from home, like if you're waiting for a bus or something like that, you can also pull up a certain game you like. Say for instance, I think this one only works on like with internet, but if you're somewhere that has internet, you can pull up the Sims Mobile. This is one of our favorites that we like to play. Otherwise, one that doesn't exactly need internet. This is one we play more. Minecraft. Oop. Yeah. We mostly play Minecraft when we're on the go, because we can just build and do whatever we like and all that stuff. We really love building on Minecraft. But yeah, if you need to play a game or watch something or listen to music when you're away from home, it's a really good idea to carry your phone with you. And oh yeah, most definitely carry your phone around with you, because again, going back to the physical safety stuff, it's a good idea to have your charger, and it's a good idea to have your phone on hand so that if you find yourself stranded and need a way home, you can book a Uber or do what you need to do. But yeah, that's that's most of it, is just carry some stuff to help you keep your hands busy and your mind busy. Whether if it would be fidget toys, Play-Doh, or those Pop-It things we really love for some reason, and the phone too. Oh, didn't realize our screen was on. My bad. But yeah, that's that's that right there. Alright. Oh yeah. If you have a tendency to bite your lip when you're on the go, a good thing is to maybe pack like some trail mix or something like that. At least that's what we do. Is there's one of us, well, some of us here that tend to bite our lip when we're away from home for some reason. So with our with our fidget stuff, we also pack a bag of trail mix, and we munch on the trail mix, well, when we're either waiting for the bus or we're at, well, anywhere not on the bus because they don't allow to eat on the bus, but when off the bus and away from home, trail mix is a good way to like help us not bite our lip. Because sometimes, before we figured out the trail mix thing, we used to bite our lip quite a lot, and it was just like, oh, we gotta stop doing that. One moment, I'm gonna get some water here. Wow, really good H2O. Really good water. But yeah, if you're able to pack something that you can chew on, whether if it would be trail mix or sometimes a pack of chewing gum, that's a good idea too. Because sometimes if you bite on your lip, it will hurt, and it's not a good idea to bite on the lip. Alright. Now, this next one, I was not sure what section to put this in. So it's gonna be kind of like in the middle here. Going with mental and physical here is like if you need certain essentials with you. Like, of course, phone charger is an essential, but if you need stuff like medication, or if you need like paper towels and stuff like that, you can just pack, like, you don't have to pack like a whole roll of paper towels or a whole thing of medication, but just carry like what you need for how long you're gonna be away from home. Especially with the paper towels thing, is that, well, for us, we know that places are adding those really, really loud, annoying hand dryers now, and taking out the paper towel dispensers, but we usually try to have some paper towels on hand because we absolutely do not like those hand dryers. Especially some of us, they are really scary for some of us. Yeah, that's part of the reason why we listen to our music, as we're like, if we have absolutely no option but to use those things, we usually have our headphones on pretty high so that we can do that and then be done with it. But mostly we prefer to carry paper towels so that we don't have to use those things whatsoever. And yeah, I guess the rest goes with other essentials too. Like sometimes if you need certain restroom essentials, you know, pack a few of those too if you need to. Because we know that some places are starting to lock their restrooms, or if they don't lock their restrooms, some restrooms, I'm sorry. What I mean is, like, some places are starting to lock up their restrooms, and then there are some situations where, like, maybe you're getting on the bus or something and all of a sudden you really have to go. It's just like, oh, please, not now, not now. We've had those moments where we're getting on the bus and all of a sudden we're like, oh, I need to find a restroom. We really hate those moments, but at least we carry some stuff with us if we need to. Yeah, not really going into detail, of course, but it's a good thing to carry around too, is like certain essentials. Oh goodness, it is like, in some places it is so embarrassing having ask the place to use their restroom, like, especially like, oh my goodness, there's a local thrift store, we're not gonna say their name, but a local thrift store here that started having like a number pad by their restroom, and you can't get into it without a certain code and stuff. So basically you have to go, well, it's all the way in the back, so if you get there and you try the door, you can't get the door open. You have to go all the way up to the front, like all the way up to the front of the store, ask an employee if you could use their restroom, and then they have to send someone with you all the way back. Oh goodness, it's tiring, and sometimes it's like, I don't want to go back and forth. Like, I have to go. I don't like going all the way up there and then being like, hope I can get there in time. Ugh. We really hate those situations. Like, wow. Like, yeah, we know it's for some reasons, but sometimes it's just like, really? And yes, again, it's very embarrassing. Like, do I really have to announce to the store that I need to use a restroom? But yes, without going into further detail, just gonna say it's a good idea to carry around a few essentials if you need to. Yeah, that does go into the plan ahead type thing too, but thought it was important enough for its own separate tip. Alright, I think that's most of it there. Yeah. And yeah, that's most of it there. Is just don't really have much to say on the mental health part, because of course we are not psychiatrists, we are not therapists or psychologists, so we can't really tell you exactly like what are some good things to do when away from home. But these are just our tips, and if you have tips that you've learned from others that are helpful for you, then that's good. And yeah, I know I'm stumbling over myself because it's my first video here, but yeah, those are our tips mostly. And oh yeah, another thing is that if you have to go in the wintertime, just like, especially if it's just for a short distance, just be careful to make sure you don't fall and have an accident, because that would be terrible. We're not gonna say where this place is, but there's a certain place where we have to cross the parking lot to get to a certain place, and it's just like, ooh, that can get really icy in the wintertime. But yeah, I know we said be careful in one tip, but just want to emphasize the be very careful depending on like where you are and stuff. Like, just want to emphasize that part, because well, especially it's important to be careful, like who you're, like the people you're hanging out with and who you're around, as well as the place that the location you're at or going to. It's really important to make sure it's not a dangerous place, and if it is a dangerous place, make sure you're on high alert and being really cautious and careful. And also, if it's not a dangerous place too, just try to like be careful be careful too. Yeah, basically the point of me saying this is just in general, be very careful. So okay, that was part of the physical part, but I really felt I needed to say that again. Oh, another thing that pops in the mind here is that if you're getting groceries and you have to come home with all your groceries, like if someone is driving you to get your groceries and driving you back, just be really careful. Like, depending on how many groceries you have, be really careful. And if the person that's driving you allows you to make multiple trips, you can make multiple trips. Just be careful so you don't slip. And if things are heavy, maybe try to get some of the lighter stuff first and then go on to the heavy stuff, because sometimes even for us, getting the heavy stuff is just whew. I mean, I try to get our soda out of our aunt's car sometimes, and even for me it's just like, whoa, carrying like either a 12 pack or a 24 pack of soda is like, jeez, that's heavy. And then if there's times where you can't be with someone to get your groceries and you need to haul them home, our tip for you on that is grab your immediate essentials. And if you have to take public transportation or an Uber, make sure you just get like the excuse me. Make sure you get the immediate necessities, and then later on, if you still need certain groceries that may not be able to be carried on the bus or wherever, then you can ask someone, hey, well, if you know somebody well that can take you, you can ask somebody, hey, I need to go out to get these groceries, can you help me? And if they say yes, cool. If they say no, then that's all right too. You just gotta see what works out for you and for the person that you're asking. Yeah. So to sum up this grocery tip is get all the immediate necessary stuff. Like, okay, Demi, you can word this better. Okay, I have a better way of saying this. Don't grab a lot of groceries when you have to go on your own. If you have to get on the bus, if you're taking public transportation, just get like a few groceries, like maybe get like 2 or as many as you can carry in one trip. Otherwise, if there's more that you need that can't be taken on the bus or taken like on certain transportation, then wait until maybe somebody can help you get them from the store to your place. Yeah, we've had situations where we weren't able to get any assistance with our groceries, getting them from the store into our place. But by experience, like for us anyway, it's good to get like 2 or 3 bags, and as long as we can carry them on the bus on one trip, it's good. Otherwise, there were a few situations where we were on our own and we got like more bags than we could carry on the bus. Sometimes we have to contact either our mom or somebody to say, hey, I got more groceries than I can carry on the bus. Can you come help me get these home? Yeah, last time we did that, we had to do that. We texted our mom because we had so many. Luckily, she was able to come and help us take our stuff home, which was really nice. Otherwise, don't know how we'd be able to get back with all those groceries. So that also goes with the planning ahead part of the video too, is just plan how many groceries you need to get accordingly. That way you're not struggling. Alright, I think just a moment. I'm trying to figure out if we missed anything. I believe that's all we can think of right now. Okay, what was I saying now? Oh yeah. This is all we can think of for the video. The tips that we already said are the main tips that we are able to share in this video today because our mind is just preoccupied. Yeah, there's some parts that are gonna be edited out of this video because it's just like our minds are like, we're just thinking about so much right now that it's like, when are we recording this? What are we trying to say? Why do we keep stumbling over our words over and over again like we're a broken record? And I guess it's also because been needing to film this for a while now, so it's just like, need to get this done. But anyways, thank y'all so much for watching this video, and I can't believe I said y'all. I do not say y'all, and I do not say yo, so whatever that was, I don't know. But I'm just gonna roll with it because sometimes we say what we don't normally say, and it's like, and then with me, I'm usually more explicit language type person, so some stuff I cannot say here. Like, sometimes I talk without filter, and then sometimes I'm like, oh, hold up, Demi, you need to speak without the explicits. It's hard for me to remember sometimes, but thankfully, I'm reminded every now and then, like, hey, we're supposed to talk without explicits, but yeah, that's just me. I don't know why I talk so much with explicits, but that's just me. And well, when we're not talking to someone and we're just, well, when our littles are not present and it's just me, I'm like talking the way I do, but I'm working on it. But alrighty, I think that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed my non-stop trying to get this video out. This is my first video too, so sorry if my talking is a bit janky. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any more videos like this, really, because I don't know. This video was tough to come up with anyway, but who knows, maybe I'll figure out how to speak more clearly and better, and we can get better quality videos out, but we'll see. But for now, I think I'm gonna head off, and we're gonna, well, our body's tired, so maybe we'll take a nap. Yeah, a nap and probably a snack would do. So, alrighty, viewers. This is Demetria, aka Demi, signing off from this safety tips for on the go video. Oh yeah, before I forget again, if you have any safety tips that you'd like to share, definitely throw them in the comments or on our socials as well. Like, we have Facebook, Instagram, and Threads and all that stuff, but I believe most of our socials are under Moonerade System or the Moonerade System, whichever one, either without or with the in it. So yeah, just look up Moonerade System and you'll probably find us. But just share your safety tips, and maybe we'll make a part 2. I don't know yet, but yeah. Alrighty. before I repeat myself, I'm signing off now. With cheers and love, everybody. Goodbye.
On a blue background, white text appears in red text boxes. The text reads, Music credits, Venice Beach by Toffer Moore and Alex Alena, Whip by Young Logos, Wild Pogo by Francis Preve, Wines of Spring by the 1 to 6ers, Yellow Jello by Audio Hertz.